Oh, hello there.
How you doing?
Oh my goodness. Ghost, hi there. So nice to hear from you. So nice to see you.
Yeah. How you been?
Oh, wonderful. And yourself?
I've been okay. Had some computer issues like 2 days ago, but my friend helped me fix it today, so I saw you online. I figured I'd pop over and say,
Oh, wow. Well, you online as well?
yeah, they're pretty late.
Well, that's great. Well, let's see. Oh, I never even. So I have an alt account that I use as a pilot because I really don't like to fly myself, and
I love it.
and
I love it.
but I should have actually checked to see who was on it. I put your server.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you switched your Star Citizen.
I'm actually gonna go back to the main. I just logged into the server.
Your voice just faded away there on me. I know you're on mobile, so. Damn it, we gotta buy you a set of headphones.
It's always so nice to see you. I know it's not often we get to play in Star Citizen together, but it's always such.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, yeah, I saw you online. I was like, I bet Solara when it's like playing, even though it doesn't show you playing. I know you're. I was guessing that you're online. Let me see if it shows you online. Yeah, it shows you online.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, thank you for the invitation.
Yep.
I really am so glad they re-implemented this party launch system. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it was broken for a bit during PTU patching this time.
Oh.
I gotta set up my foot pedals. I just bought some foot pedals today for piloting, and I haven't even pulled them out of the box because I've been having computer issues. I had like a couple sticks of RAM go bad on me, so I spent the last 2 days like plugging and unplugging RAM into my board trying to figure out which one it was.
Oh my, that's really a hassle. RAM is really good. Yes, RAM is definitely not the easiest thing to diagnose and fix.
I thought it was a CPU or like a power supply issue, but then my friend was like, "Okay, read the code off the board for me," and it was giving basically a failed RAM code. So I had to track down which version of RAM it was.
Oh wow!
Not exactly the most exciting couple of days, but now that it's all set up and everything's working okay again, I'm quite happy.
That's the most important thing, as long as you can get it working.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to fork out money for a new board,
Oh, boards are getting ridiculously expensive these days.
Yeah, especially like the board I'm running, so I was like, please don't make me fucking buy a board.
You must have a high-end board.
Yeah, it's not like super state-of-the-art, but it's still expensive.
Personally, I think all these computer parts are quite overinflated.
Yeah.
Not as bad as, medicine, but then,
close enough.
It's still a bit.
Damn it, I don't want to expedite my fee. I need to do some cargo runs and make up for the money. Down to 90,000 Alpha UEC.
Oh, I see you've been quite busy.
Yeah. Well, actually, my account starts with 125,000.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow.
So I've actually been spending money because, like, had to buy a couple of low crime rate things to get myself out of crime, being crime rated for accidents. And now I need to make up for it by running some Connie shipments.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I'll come pick you up. I just gotta wait for my Connie to respawn.
Oh, wonderful. I'll just hang around until you come this way.
Where are you at, ArcCorp?
I'm at the famous ArcCorp.
Okay. Famous Area 18.
Yes, where everybody loves to go and at least explore.
Yeah.
The other night I was trying to, but I kept failing because, with this hover mode introduces even more impossible. But a few friends, other friends, and I were trying to get into that Million Mile High Club, and there's a certain way to do it because they have videos of it, on how it's done. But it's very difficult, and every time you're destroying ships left and right. Well, I don't really. I think I know how to make it into the no-fly zone, but I cannot seem to survive going all the way to Area 18, which some people are able to do. So there must be some kind of trick to it. But
Yeah. Oh, so there's like a place to land for the Million Mile High Club.
Well, there's a way in, a bit of an unorthodox way to enter. What they do is I guess some of the buildings don't have any collision on the exterior. So once they're in a no-fly zone, they can actually fly through the buildings and go into the elevator from the backside that goes up to the Million Mile High Club. And once they disembark their ship and enter the elevator, they can operate the elevator and actually go up into the Million Mile High Club. Really, which is really neat. And I before they fix it, I was hoping to at least see it before, I'm permanently locked out of that.
Well, I should be part of the Million Mile High Club. I mean, I spent a shitload of money. But I don't think they have it technically implemented in the game yet, right?
Yes, they haven't I don't think they have it ready yet or available to even the people that qualify for that. But by the way, congratulations on qualifying for it.
Yeah, I spent way too much money on Star Citizen. It's so bad.
I think a lot of people have spent more than they ever thought they would now, and it's quite amazing when you can create such an effect like that.
I think it's $2,000 or more. I think qualifies you for it, right?
I am not certain. I've heard all sorts of different things, but one of the things I've heard is you have to recruit so many people into the game, and
that's stupid. That's not how you can. That's a no. Hold on, Million Mile Star Citizen, Million Mile High Club qualifications. Just looking.
Every week, a taste of freedom.
Oh shit! No, I don't qualify. $10,000 or more. I come shy of it by a few thousand.
oh wow.
Okay, so it's now available as a referral system reward for backstabbers who use this referral code to invite 1,042 new players to sign up, subsequently purchase this game package. So basically, you need to invite 1,042 people to qualify for Million Mile High Club. So
So
you were correct about the referrals, but you need like 1,042 people.
Wow, so you need to have both 1,042 as well as 10,000?
No, or either or.
Oh, wow.
So originally it was only available to people who paid 10 grand or more for a package, right? But now it's available in the referral system for anyone who invites 1,042 people and who back the game. So you basically got to get 1,042 people to use your referral code and then back the game, basically purchase a package. And then once they've done that, then you qualify for the Million Mile High Club.
Oh my mic was muted all this time. Oh my goodness. Yes, I had a feeling it was something really difficult to attain from this.
Yeah.
10,000 and recruiting that many people is not the easiest thing to do. But by the way, that's great though. I mean, I'm for people who have invested a lot in this game, I thank them so much because it really has brought this game to where it is today. And thank you so much for your contribution.
Yep. I spent because at one point I did spend like around 15, but then I refunded it to break up my ship package, and then I sold my ship stuff, right? So then the amount of money that I've actually spent goes away because I don't have the ships on my account anymore, right? They don't basically they remove the purchases from my history. But originally I would have qualified for that if I wouldn't have sold off all my ships because I had a ridiculous amount of ships.
Oh wow! Also, wasn't there a package called the completions package or something?
That one's every ship in the game.
So you actually
feature and patch, so that means all the ships that they add and all the ships that were before they added ships. You get every ship in the game. That means everything from from the beginning to the end.
Well, that's an amazing investment.
Yeah, but that's like $25,000. That's a big investment. The one I had was Rear Admiral package, which is like the lower one. Basically, you have an Idris, and then you have like Idris, Karak, and then like basically all the fighter ships, right? All the military type ships. And so then I sold that package. I broke that package up, sold my Idris, and then sold my other ships except for the ones I wanted to keep. I basically melted my entire Rear Admiral package on the gray market. I don't know if you heard of the gray market, but that's where I sold it.
Oh wow! Well, there's
Reddit, right?
I've heard about Reddit.
Yeah, so they have a gray market on the Reddit where you can sell ships that are in your package, right? So you basically get people to pay you over PayPal, and then you send you gift them the ship from your account.
Oh wow! But how do you trust something like that?
It's hard. It's a lot of it takes a lot of time because especially when you start out selling, you don't have a reputation, But then as you move along, you sell more ships, then your reputation rating goes up.
I would think they would need some sort of mediator or at least someone that has some reputation to.
Well, they do. They have a way to review. You know how Reddit has a way to review someone's account? Basically, people will add reviews on that Reddit account. And so basically people can try, see who's trustworthy and who's not, basically.
Oh, well that sounds like a pretty neat system. Of course,
You still have to be careful. Yeah, you still have to be careful. It's like the black market for ships. So you're not buying the ships from the traditional website, you're buying them in the gray market. That's actually how I got the Polaris, because they weren't selling the Polaris anymore, right? And I haven't seen it at any of the Christmas sales anymore either. And so the only way I was able to get my hands on it was by going to the gray market.
But if you receive the ship as a gift, won't that not accumulate what do you call it? Status points for you in the game itself? Like for example, like I know they have something called the concierge, which you're a part of.
Right.
But if you buy ships from the grey market, that does not count toward that, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I see.
The concierge package, those are the monthly subscription packs. So like for $20, I'm a concierge person all the time, right? Well, concierge actually, I think that's if you have spent over $2,000, which I have still, even after melting all my ships. I'm still part of like wave 1 testing because of like how much I've spent on the game.
I see. But and those ranks that you get normally when you contribute, so much funds to the game, that can only be done by actually contributing your own.
Yes. Actual money.
Interesting.
And when I melted my pack, I used to be like one of the people who spent over $10,000. I spent $15,000 for the package I bought, right? But then I ended up melting my package, which means I gifted the ships away. So my package no longer counts as being a purchasable pack because I literally had to have them take my package and break it up into separate ships, right? And then as you sell those ships off here, those ships no longer add to the balance of what you've spent.
Well,
literally when you gift the ship away on your account, it lowers the amount that you've invested.
Well, actually, I know this may seem counterintuitive, but I personally think you're in a better position now because of what you did.
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy I sold my ships. There's way too many, man. I was never going to use them.
Well, also, the thing is, I do have faith in the game, and I do not want to question, Chris Roberts' integrity in any way, but as far as me, I always like to do things in a safe manner, so for me, I would like to wait till the ship is flyable. I know people like to purchase concept ships and just sit on that and wait, and then later on they can buy it back with a buyback token, or either buy it with cash later on. But the thing is, for me, I would like to just see that a ship is going to be flyable in the next coming patch before I actually spend cash. And that's what I do. But of course, I lose out on the LTIs. I lose out on the best price by doing that. But it does give me a peace of mind.
Or it can be like me and wait till it comes out and then buy it on the gray market. Because the gray market will give you LTI. You can find LTI purchases. And the LTI is honestly not even that big of a deal, to tell you the truth.
I'm going to have to look into this gray movie. It sounds quite fascinating.
So LTI, right? LTI just means you have lifetime insurance on the whole of the ship. It's not all the components. And we all know that the components are really going to make up whether your ship is special or not.
Oh, yes. I have a friend who's really good at that. He's really good at adding components and optimizing his ship.
Yeah.
I don't know about this game, but I know in the previous game that I was playing, the Earth and Beyond game, right, where I got my avatar from, he used to actually beat people or in competitions, and they had the same class of character and ship as well, but he just knew how to combine his devices in a way that always gave him an edge, and that's really a great skill.
Oh, yeah. So, Solara, who's your main running group that you're with?
Oh, yes. I'm at Start Commercial Combining.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yes, I'm currently the captain in that org.
Okay, well, congratulations. Is that like a very high, well, that is a high rank no matter what. Yeah, well, keep me in mind. I still want you to the Novanex side.
I know you do, and I've never forgotten your invitation. I really do cherish the fact that you would consider me for such a position in your wonderful org. And maybe that day may come. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Well, I will tell you this. You know how like a lot of orgs are not that active right now because it's not out. We're still active, like even to this day. So it's pretty much formed back in December of last year. So it's encouraging. I took a little break. We all play different games and everything, but we've stayed active within the org, which is that's hard to do, especially when there's such like long periods of development going on still. Challenging thing to find things for the group to do.
Yes, it is hard. I mean, well, the gameplay is also quite rather limited, like like everyone's.
Everything right now, yeah, there's little issues. Issues. Oh yeah, it's there. Yay.
For me, I use the game as it's sort of just a visceral type of therapy. It's a lot of grand vistas, and I just like to get lost in this world and just wander around.
Yeah, the scale is actually pretty insane, so. I agree. Yeah, I finally spawned the Conio. I'm heading that way to pick it up.
So, where are you coming from, Endeavor?
Port Olisar.
Oh, that's gonna be a long flight.
No, not in the Conio, it's not too bad. Smaller ship, yeah, it'd be really pain in the ass, actually.
Well, I do appreciate you making...
Oh, God.
Oh, what happened?
There's a bug right now going around that if your ship gets like messed up or something while you're dead, like, and then you don't log out of the game, you kind of wait to like respawn or something, like the ship is broken permanently, right? And so that happens to be the Connie. Even if you reclaim it, like the doors and everything and the engines and all that stuff will be missing out of it.
Oh no!
I think I have backup though. I'm gonna go get a Cutlass.
Oh, that bug is coming back again. That was a very old...
Yeah, dude. That bug was like in the 2.0 series, and then it's just gotten kind of worse.
Oh my goodness. I thought we had such a... Oh, I thought they took care of that already.
Yeah, it's quite annoying, really. Fortunately, I have the backup ship, so it's fine.
There was another bug that, and I hope it's not going to come back, but if your ship did explode and you died in your ship and you respawn, all of a sudden the collision is gone in the ship and you can't even board the ship.
Really? Oh, that's shitty. That's even worse.
But the trick
I don't think I've seen that bug in a while, though.
It's a very annoying bug, but there was a workaround to that where as long as you could sit in the pilot seat, or just any seat in the ship, then it would fix it.
Yeah, this one is a more persistent bug, more irritating bug.
But with that bug, I think we're just going to have to reclaim every ship, every chance we get. Before we log off, we just go through the entire thing again.
Stairs to get to the pad. They're gonna redo Port Olisar, by the way, in the next batch. 3.7.
Oh, I'm gonna miss Port Olisar. I love that.
It'll still be Port Olisar. They're just gonna do it procedurally. So they're basically in the process of building a new Port Olisar with all the new fixing. They can look better, basically. Board my Cutlass. People say landing is hard, but it's really not for me. Even with the new hover system, it's not that bad.
Oh yeah, you don't mind the hover system because I am just completely... I'm really annoyed by the hover system.
Yeah, and a lot of you're not the only. You're one of the many that hate the new hover system.
I cannot, I mean, I'm literally, I pretty much can't fly in the game much anymore because of
It just takes pride. It really does it.
the ship levels off and then you cannot see down. If you see down, the ship starts moving forward. Oh my goodness. And then it's so sensitive, especially if you're flying the smaller ships.
What you want to do though is you want to control how much thrust you're getting to your outputs. That's actually the trick for landing. So what happens is you're giving yourself, you know how you have the regulator to basically tell you how much thrust you're giving, right? The new regulator, like the little bar that goes up and down, right? So basically on that, you have to turn it almost all the way off, like when you're landing, so you move around minutely. Your movements are very small. It's basically just regulating the output of the thrusters, but really not giving your thrusters a lot of power to maneuver, just a little tiny bit, enough to keep it in the air.
Oh, I see.
It's actually like, I mean, it's not that difficult, but it does take practice. You'll get a chance to see when I'm piloting. I haven't even added the foot throttles either. I'm planning to add foot rudders, you know, so I have more fine tuning, like controlled movements whenever I'm like landing.
You must have a very comprehensive system, a control mechanism for this.
So I'm using, you know, there's a HOTAS setup, right? So I'm actually, instead of HOTAS, I'm using 2 joysticks. 2 controls. One controls my throttle, one on the left, and then my roll and my movement and stuff is all controlled on the right with the other joystick.
So basically, it looks like the joysticks and or the controls in the Aurora. You have one on each side, and you have the pedal.
Yep. It's very useful, especially whenever you're trying to do fine maneuvers with the thrusters. It's really, really helpful to be able to have, you know, high-end control over that.
Several things I really should invest in, but I keep pushing it off. I would like to get the webcam and a microphone for the computer to do the FOIP, because I really like the FOIP feature. And
I mean, do you want a microphone that is built into the headset, or do you want one that's separate from the headset?
Well, the headsets look so cumbersome, and probably very uncomfortable because they go around your ear, and so I imagine it generates a lot of heat unless you have air-conditioned headsets. Yeah, because I don't know if they have such things. But I would just get very hot, I think, wearing such bulky headsets. So for me, I would just like to have like a sort of the kind of microphone that you would see like at, you know, the NASA space. What do you call it? Base, the NASA base.
Yeah, so you're talking like maybe one like with a boom arm.
Yes, that would be perfect.
I can suggest some ones. I have an Audio Technica microphone that I use. It's separate from my headset, so one thing is nice if one of my headsets goes out, then I don't have to replace both, you know, because with the headsets with both, if something goes wrong with it, you have to replace both. So you're out of a microphone and a headset if your headset goes out, right? Because there's headsets and then there's headphones. Headphones are just like, you know, the actual sound, and then headsets usually have both microphone and headsets on it. Or, sorry, I should say microphone and speakers built in.
Well, that's good. If I can get a microphone and a webcam, I think that will be fine. I think I can deal with the mouse and keyboard for now. But I don't know.
I don't really care about flying that anyway, because in the full version of the game, you won't really have to do that. You could, travel around on the Starliners. You never have to actually fly. You can go planet to planet on the Starliners.
Yes, because I imagine, especially those joystick gear and the pedal gears are pretty expensive. So they're,
Let's see. So my main X56 side tech costs around 200. The secondary joystick costs around 100 and something, a little bit over. And then the rudders cost about 160. So I'd say about $600, $700 for everything.
that's not too bad actually.
I don't think it's too expensive. It's hard. It just takes time to adjust to it, honestly. And one of the most irritating things is setting up keybinds for the first time. That can be very frustrating because there's so many keybind setups in Star Citizen that you can go through.
Yes, and with every patch it changes. Sometimes it seems like they never really just
Well, they're not
come
finished
to
changing either. They're not finished. Like, not even all the ship systems are in yet. Buttons is Arma 3. I don't know if you know about Arma 3, but it has the most button binds in any video game right now. I would say Star Citizen comes in a close second now to Arma 3. Arma 3 is like, if you haven't heard of it, it's like a military sim. And it's just, they have so many controls, it's crazy.
Oh, I've never heard of Arma.
Yeah, it's pretty popular, but it's only popular if you're into military simulations.
That is one thing that I sort of lack in Star Citizen is anything that really is has any strength. I have a Aurora LN.
Nice.
So it has cute little missiles.
Well, always keep this in mind. If you end up joining our org long term, you can just live aboard a ship and you never have to worry about traveling.
That's very tempting.
It is. I mean, like, my entire group is down for the whole fact of like living aboard and working aboard a fully player manned starship, you know, and then branching out with captains from there. So basically, get the one ship working really good, you know, have a few escort pilots for fighter pilots and stuff like that, and then build out from there. Because I mean, it's not too bad. Like, I think full complement is 23, so you only need. Usually, I would say about 50 in case, you know, somebody's sick or they don't log in or whatever. You just need, like, you know, or maybe, I want to say 80 people total, somewhere around there. Oops, that illusion.
Well, it definitely will add to the immersion. That's
Yeah. Well, just operations too. I honestly feel like a well-manned crew or a well-trained crew could probably AIs could handle. I'm about 9 million kilometers away from you now.
now that I want to really see. I want to see how AIs are going to be implemented, especially for AI pilots. You know?
Well, from what I heard, you'll be able to talk to them fully integrated, just like through VoIP, and you can actually give them commands that they will execute.
Oh my, they're really pushing the bar high, aren't they? To develop the.
Yep. I mean, the only reason why AI don't work very well right now is, like I said, they're all on one server, and they haven't separated them yet. But once everything is running on their own servers, it's going to change the way this game plays. That and server-side OCS. So we saw a big improvement when they added client-side OCS, right? Huge improvement in frame rates. It's way better now than it was. So when they do the implementation of the server-side OCS, that's going to even give greater gains on frame rate and performance.
Oh wow! I can't wait to see.
Yeah, Should be interesting. We still got a long ways to go, though.
Yes, I imagine there will be a few more years before we see any major other milestones that they'll cross.
Not really. Like, I think they're going to hit a lot of milestones coming up very quickly, like probably into mid next year. Because patches 3.9, you understand there's only 2 patches before alpha. So once we get to the end of the year, is 3.8. Right? So halfway by summertime, they're going to be at 4.0. Or sorry, 3.9, right? Which is 1 patch away from 4.0, which is the release of Star Citizen. So they're a lot closer than you think. I mean, really, the whole goal has been for them to complete out a solar system that's fully functional, right? And they've almost done that already. The only things they're missing right now is Microtech, right? Microtech landing zone and Crusader landing zone. Those are the only 2 landing zones they have not completed.
Oh my, well, if that's the case, well, that's wonderful. I mean, my goodness, some people are making jokes that it won't be finished till 2042 or something.
People are dumb. And plus, I mean, they're working with 400 some people right now, or sorry, 600 or 700 some people now. It's not that hard for them to complete this now. So, I mean, like, they've come a long ways. I mean, they're definitely not as far away as people think they are.
Well, that's wonderful.
They're just, in general, crybabies.
Well, I must say the Star Citizen community can be quite discerning.
Yeah. Well, they just, they bitch a lot. Like, if things aren't going as quickly as they think they should be going, the Star Citizen community cries about that a lot. Here we go. Alright, you might want to head for the spaceport.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Alright. See where I'm at here. There we go. I see where I'm headed. Yeah, I'm literally flying over your head right now.
So how often have you been to ArcCorp in Area 8?
Quite a few times, pretty often.
Well, so you're probably used to you're used to seeing the city.
Oh yeah, it's freaking wonderful. Though every time I see it, it's mind-blowing.
Yes, it's like the New York of Star Citizen.
Yep. I don't know if you can see my beacon, but I'm literally going over your head right now.
Strong winds gonna rise some.
Headed for the spaceport.
Trap now approaching.
Oh, there you are. I do see your icon.
I'm going to try to do a flyover. Keep looking up at the sky.
Oh, be careful. They have very high no-fly zones in this.
Oh, I know, for sure.
Stand clear. Doors are now closed. Trap now leaving the station. Stand clear.
See me going overhead?
Oh, yes, I see you. You're just now crossing over, and now you're over Area 18.
Mm-hmm. Headed for the spaceport.
You're going quite fast.
I am. I'm traveling. I'm not going that fast. I'm only traveling about 180 meters a second. That's not fast. Alright, let me get a comm tail in.
I'm so glad they shortened the wait time on the trans.
Yeah.
City Pipe reminds you, when trash goes in the bin, we
I don't want to have a profession of being a commuter citizen.
tram now leaving the station.
This is where foot runners will come in useful, is all the maneuvering you gotta do right here. Thinking about using foot pedals for strafing left and right.
Oh, wow, I think I see you in the distance from the Skybus as the Skybus is entering the suite.
Oh my god, this is the smallest landing area ever.
Conveniently located throughout the spaceport. It takes all of us working together to keep our course safe and secure. Be vigilant and report possible threats every time. It takes all of us working together to keep ArcCorp safe and secure. Be vigilant and report possible threats every time.
So all you gotta do is
Wonderful.
navigate to Hangar 3 and you'll find me.
So how do you know which hangar you're at? Because I don't know. Well, every time I land, I have no idea which
There's
hangar.
a number, so there's a terminal number posted, like when you look through the little gap, right? But actually, on the outside of the entrance, there is a number posted that says number 3, and that is the number you're looking for, not the other one, because the other one can confuse you and make you think you're in one hangar when you're in another. What you want to look for is the big numbers that tell you what hangar you're in.
I see.
Please be aware that while in the
All right, headed back to my seat. Such a fucking sight, man.
Oh yes, it sure is. Okay, I'm now I'm logging to this server. Let's see if I'll load into this.
All right. So I think now that the booster or your landing thing doesn't activate yet anymore until you actually use your landing gear. Oh my god, dude. I'm flying over a section of the city. It's so fucking amazing.
Oh my, it's beautiful. I'm actually in the turret.
Nice.
Turret. Wow, this really is nice.
This is away from ArcCorp too. I love the music too.
Oh, it's quite beautiful. Quite lovely.
It looks so fucking real, man. So impressive, like seriously. Look down.
My goodness, it's very detailed, isn't it?
That's more detailed than people think.
It really does actually look like a thriving city now.
Yeah. So crazy. See that landing pad? Oh, wait, never mind. It's not a landing, it's just a building.
We can't wait till they have some levels where we actually can go down to the streets, you know, and have actually maybe ride a cab or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be available one day.
There's just so much potential with this game.
That's just insane. As far as the eye can see too, you can just see buildings. It's crazy. We're all in ass now too. So fucking amazing.
Yes, it really is.
What's even more mind-blowing is the computer came up with how the buildings are going to be laid out. Because they sure as hell did not do all this by hand. It would have literally taken them 100 years if they did this by hand. Look at that traffic right ahead of us. Look at that. It's so crazy.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable. And I noticed they've adjusted the traffic to account for sunlight, so it looks like traffic would look in the
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely done a lot of freaking work, dude. And what's crazy is we're just in some random spot on the planet, you know, seeing this. It's so crazy.
Yes, that's so true.
I wonder how low I can go. Oh, it's right there. Sorry. Thought I could go a lot lower, but I can't. Oh, looks like we have a contact up ahead. It is to our right. Looked like it was a hammerhead. And I like certain areas are more like, look at this section. This looks like a heavy section of the city. How many cars are passing by there?
Oh my goodness, wow.
It's like every section is different. So crazy to look at. I really don't know how they pull this shit off. Like, it's crazy.
It's really the game is very magical. They are truly wizards.
We're gonna get some altitude.
And with such nice frame rates, I mean, look at how. If you ever looked at other games that have this many buildings, you would never see the frame rate this good.
Oh no, not even close, dude.
And they still managed to have all these sophisticated shaders like the glossy effects. So,
I mean, look at the level of shadow detail. Look around. So crazy. Alright, we're gonna break for bourbon here.
I can see the benefits of having a joystick. Look at how smooth the movement is of the ship. It really adds to the realism of the way the ship behaves.
Yeah, it helps with piloting too through small spaces or, you know, just in really tight situations. Asteroid fields, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the level of detail is so crazy. What's amazing is we pull away, the way that they, you know, start removing buildings is so clever.
Yes, the transitions are very smooth. I don't think I've seen ArcCorp. I have a few times in the afternoon, but I've never really flown close to the buildings at that level in the afternoon time. It was a sight to see.
Yeah, it really is. I'm pushing really hard so the engines are freaking out.
I just wish that the VTOLs would show on my end like they show on your end because they're still pointing downward.
Are they?
Yes, that's a bug. So hopefully it's just the ship looks very doesn't look very aerodynamic at the moment. I'm thinking, wow, it's gaining a lot of speed even though the engines are sort of being an obstacle to the airflow.
Maybe I can fix it real quick. Did I fix it on your end?
Unfortunately, no.
Let's do it.
But nonetheless, you fly very beautifully. I really feel like I'm traveling in an airliner.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, the engine's actually changed. Yes, now we're in flight configuration. How did you do that?
I just cycled the landing gear.
I see. Oh, now it looks good.
Now let's go ahead and get the target direction for where we're going. I'm just going to be making some cargo runs to make some quick money. Let's see. And we're going to go ahead, set course for ArcCorp. We're trying to port Olisar. I'm going to be running medical supplies.
Yes, I hear medical supplies are doing really
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's actually a short trip version, if it's still there, that can make money very quickly. I'll have to check it out too.
And I noticed that there's a lot more opportunities to make money for beginner players now than there were earlier.
Yeah, the mission system is way better too.
So the combat distress beacons that we see, are those players or NPCs?
They are both NPCs and players, so a player or NPC can generate one.
Oh, wow. Oh, hello, Akuso. Sorry I didn't see you. So Akuso is one of the people watching the streams. They don't have a mic, but they, at least they can listen to what we're saying.
Okay, all right. Very cool. Well, Akuso. Just getting alignment here. Have to pick up some fuel at Crusader. We're at Port Olisar. Running a little bit here low on just general fuel. Altitude, like output, it'll continue to burn throughout quantum, so you actually want to turn down your engines to just cruise speed, just regular, impulse speeds before you go into quantum.
Oh, that's a very good tip.
Otherwise it'll continue to consume conventional fuel.
Oh, that sounds very realistic.
Mm-hmm. So actually your quantum drive consumes a different fuel, but if you leave the engines on, it'll also consume the secondary fuel as well, which you don't actually need to even be traveling that fast whenever you enter, quantum.
Yeah, it's so funny when I think of devs as, regressive engineers because their job is to make our lives a little more challenging in the virtual world.
Yeah.
Versus real world engineers that are always trying to figure ways to do things more efficient and better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's interesting, but it's fun. Makes for having issues, makes actually for fun gameplay. Not too many, but enough for it to be challenging. The
Yes, it definitely.
I would say the hover system is challenging, but it's not overly challenging. And I realize that the hover system is in its first stages. It's a new implementation, so I know there's adjustments that need to be made.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, what do you think about the they're going to be introducing some very prolific ships in very. What is your opinion on that? The space version of the yacht?
Like the 890 jump?
Oh yes. What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. I mean, like it's realistic. I know rich people would definitely own one, and should be fun. Should be interesting. It'll be the biggest ship in the game to date.
Yes, it would be a great preliminary or I should say prelude to like the Polaris and the Carrack and all those other ships that are.
Actually, the 890 jump is bigger than the Polaris at this point. But I think the Polaris is going to honestly grow in size.
Yes, they all tend to do, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Because I think, do you remember the size of the 890 jump? The length?
I remember people were saying it was, I think, 122 meters.
Is it? I thought it was longer than that.
And then now it's 250 something.
Yeah, because I know the Polaris is 255 meters long, so I know the Polaris is probably going to go to like 270 or even maybe 300 with all the components and everything on board.
That definitely will be a ship of sorts. You can actually dock other ships in it, and it has all the other features that you could. It's pretty much a feature-filled ship.
Yep. But the funny thing is, the Polaris is a smaller core. It's a smaller capital ship. It is the smallest capital ship in the game. That and the Hammerhead. The Hammerhead, and I believe the Polaris is going to be longer than the Hammerhead. But the Hammerhead and the Polaris are pretty much small capital ships. Corvette.
Yes, and but of course you can do a lot more with the Polaris.
True. Yeah, that's the whole point of why I decided to get it, is so it's literally a base for my entire org to work off of, a moving base. You know, it goes where we go. Because I could have done it Idris, but it's just too much upkeep, and I know it's going to be god awful, insanely expensive to take care of a ship like that.
Oh yes.
I mean, even the Polaris, I'm scared of, like, really what the cost is to take care of it and to fuel it and to repair and change components and all that kind of crap, you know? It's going to be crazy.
The Reclaimer already gives a sense of how expensive ships were to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I need a financial and logistics officer. so there.
Oh, I wonder who that would be.
No, yeah, like so I figure, you know, if we do cargo runs with it, when we're doing, like, you know, running cargo runs with a whole C and a whole E, because we already have a whole E, I believe, in the group. My friend Doorstop has one. It's either a whole C or a whole E. I can't remember. In any case, you know, it'll pay for itself at that point. Because, like, running even anything of the whole series is going to be worth a lot of money.
Oh my goodness, the whole E. Isn't that the largest one?
Yeah, I believe a whole C. I think it's a whole C my friend has. But still, a whole C is, like, that's a lot of cargo. That's a lot of money in one run, you know? And if you load up the Polaris, because what's interesting, most people don't know this, is the Polaris actually has a cargo deck underneath the hangar deck. So you can actually haul cargo in the Polaris.
Oh wow.
It also has a lower ramp that comes down, which means you could board, you know, if you ever need to, like, board vehicles, you could board vehicles on the Polaris as well, which is pretty freaking cool.
Quite a versatile ship, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty damn versatile. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. And it's landable too. That's another big advantage about the Polaris, is you can land it on the ground, you know? If you need to make repairs, or you just need to set it down for a while, or you need to pick something up that's really, really heavy, you can land it. But I'm going to assume that it's going to have a ginormous cargo bay. Because if it ends up being bigger than the Hammerhead and the 890 jump, we're talking about a substantial size. I mean, look at the 890 jump. You can fly fighters out of the damn thing, right? So with the Polaris having the deck on top like it is, I would assume that the cargo bay underneath is going to be substantially large enough to fit vehicles in. Like, I would say 2 or 3 of the Ursa rovers could probably fit in the cargo bay on the Polaris.
Oh wow.
That's my assumption, but because, you know, we already know that the Polaris has a really good chance of getting bigger, not smaller, you know? Just because of all the components that are going to go into the walls, and, you know, the schematic that they have to make it the right size for people to be able to walk out, you know, like walk around in.
That's probably one of the parts that really draw me to the game, is the fact that we can just get out and peruse along the deck of the ships. It's sort of a very romantic thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that and the fact that really, like, except for the first loading screen to get into the game, there's no loading. Once you're in, you're in. Like, it's like seamless. It's beautiful because it's just never been done. No one's ever done it at this scale.
Ooh, that's for sure.
And that's not even talking about the planetary tech of actually having, realistic sized planets. Oh, do you see Crusader up ahead? If you're in fourth person or third person, sorry. You can see like the little moons kind of popping in too. We're almost there.
Um, I see that we're still we're still in the orbit of ArcCorp.
No, we're not. We're totally not. We're actually pulling into Crusader right now.
Oh my, I think maybe I have desynced maybe.
Possibly. Well, it should catch up now.
Oh, now we're in now we're right at Crusader.
Yeah, it's synced up. Yeah, see, and that's because there's no server-side OCS that it does that. All right, let's reduce some speed because I don't want to come into Port Olisar like a bat out of hell.
Yes, it makes us think twice about things.
Yep. Let's see here. Port Olisar over here. Still burning off speed.
These ships really give the illusion that they're traveling slowly when you're in the ship, but when you see them fly by, it really is amazing how fast.
Oh yeah, you're actually. It's just space. Space gives you that illusion. Because space is so ginormous that, even traveling at, insane amounts of speed, it still gives you the impression that you're moving slowly.
Especially when we're going around the asteroids of Yela, and we're maxing out the ship's speed, and still the rocks are just drifting by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're like thousands of kilometers away from your ship at times, and it still looks, it's still like their illusion is that you're traveling very slowly. But if you pass by a rock actually close by, then you realize how fast you're actually going.
Oh yes. Oh look, there's a reclaimer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been up there for a while actually.
I sort of think of the reclaimer as like the 747s of spaceships.
Yeah. More like the I would say the broken haulers of that you see, like for how you see diesels going down the road with broken ships or broken cars on them. In this case, the reclaimer basically matches up is the similar.
In a way, the reclaimer is quite beautiful in its own right.
Well, all ships are actually quite beautiful in their own way. They all have their own little personalities,
So what are your favorite little ships that
85X, the P-72, or sorry, P-72 Archimedes.
Yes, the Archimedes. I love that. Oh my! I just bought one.
Did you? Nice. They're fun little ships to fly.
They're just so cute. And they're very elegant. They sort of remind me of the the Jaguar E series from the 1960s.
Yeah, they do. And that is how you land without using automatic landing, by the way.
Oh, you never used auto land?
Nope.
That was so smooth.
No, all controller based.
That was very realistic.
Alright, you hang out here. I'm going to refuel here.
Um,
Let's go. And grab medical supplies. Actually, that's going to be the fun part. Actually, if you hop out of your seat, you can see the cargo bay get filled whenever I conduct the order.
Ooh, I'll have to take a look at that.
Don't stand in the middle though, because you'll get squashed by the actual. It might get hurt. So just stand off on the side, kind of by the door, toward the back. Not toward the back, but you know the door that exits to the cargo hold from the pilot's area.
Ooh, how fun.
Let me grab some medical. So reverse. Second. Take. Ernest, quick. Alright, so we'll pick up from Port Olisar and then we'll fly to Lyra to drop it. Actually, yeah, Lyra to Leverage, which is a really high drop off. Almost $1.25 per unit. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Let's see, Cutlass here. Medical supplies. Okay, so are you standing in the cargo bay?
No, I'm just in the doorway that leads to the
The what?
No, I'm in the doorway that leads to the bridge, just standing in the doorway away from the cargo so that
Okay, turn and turn and face the cargo. So you can
Okay.
only see it. Okay, here I'm gonna do the order. Here we go.
oh, it's like magic.
Yeah. So eventually you're gonna see like all that loaded in by AI. They're gonna bring cranes in and load it for you. So it'll be a real physical thing where you actually have to, wait. But right now it just spawns straight in. Pretty
It's still
unrealistic right now.
Well, if it's like Star Trek universe, I would just consider that it was just beamed over.
Yeah.
We can make it diegetic in our minds,
Right, yeah.
but it would be nice if, in the meantime, as a placeholder, they would create transportation of teleportation effects. That.
Yeah. Alright, so gotta get some fuel and then we're good.
In fact, I really think it would be neat if they had like a combination of advanced technologies and retro technologies. So, maybe some high class places will have teleportation, while maybe the poor areas or the more rugged areas, where there's pirate bases and stuff, they would actually use manual labor.
Right. Yeah.
Mechanisms.
Makes sense.
but like maybe a spaceport off of Cassell or Terra Prime everything will be just ultra futuristic.
Okay, how many units? I didn't grab that many units, so. What's a close by place? I could drop it off at.
I see 3 SCU. I mean, each container is an SCU.
Yeah, I didn't try. I don't think I was able to grab that much because I don't have that much money. Let's see here. Oh, what am I down to? Let me see. No, I have quite a bit. I filled up. Maybe that was all the SCUs they had available at this location. Okay, so let's not make a long trip. Then let's go to Yella. I don't want to go jump town. That's risky. What do I want to go buy? Awesome. Daymar, what are you paying? This Daymar's so close by. No. Dude, kind of have to travel a little ways. We'll do Daymar. Daymar seems. We'll do Daymar. Country oil. That one seems okay. And it's close by.
I love Daymar. That's still one of my favorite planets.
Yeah, the heating effects and stuff are great now too on planet.
Yes, it truly. It reminds me of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. But nicer.
Oh yes.
You see how easy I take off, like nice and gentle?
Yes, I
No
noticed that.
stress. And see, even my forward motion's easy. It's all about how much you control the ship.
Wow, that was very smooth.
Straight into quantum.
You are such a great pilot. I remember the time you were trying to demonstrate to me how to land the reclaimer, and you almost did it. But during that pass, the reclaimer was quite a difficult.
I remember that. I remember that.
It was
a pain
only
in the ass.
but it looked nice. Your approach was very beautiful.
Until I hit the ground.
Well, I think most of us pretty much. It took me I would say I spent an entire day trying to learn how to land that on Daymar. It really was a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, actually, more than one day probably. It took me, but one thing I've noticed was that I came up with a method that helps me personally. Of course, it may not be a proper way to do it, but what I looked at was the texture of the moon, of how fast the texture moved along the silhouette of the ship. And I would imagine that speed would be like the touchdown speed right before the ship touches down on the surface.
Right.
So as long as I maintain that sort of speed that looks slow, as I'm getting closer and closer to the surface, then eventually by the time I get close to where I am, I'm really slowed down enough where the ship is manageable,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, that's just one way because there's really no gauge or no instrument to manage speed and descent rate and all that. So,
No, there is. There is a gauge.
Or there is that altimeter thing, but I just don't know how to use those devices.
No, not the altimeter. There's an actual thrust control that you can, like right here. I'm going to show you. See, like right in the middle of my flight, you see I'm controlling my speed.
Oh. How do you do?
So I have like the actual thrust limiter assigned to a key that I can control it on the fly.
Oh, wow. Well, that just makes it a lot helpful, a lot more.
Alright, we're gonna throw out landing gear.
So, would you say that this new flight model is actually an improvement over the last?
Oh, absolutely 1000% an improvement. Okay, here we go.
Oh my Kusha Or, it's been a long time since I've been.
So I'm using the actual, I'm actually using the VTOL system right now to actually control the ship. Leaning forward, thrusting.
So you're flying like a drone.
Maybe a little bit further forward. Yep. And then I control even flatten out.
Very nice landing, dear.
Engines off. Let's offload this, make a bit of money. It'd be nice to make money instead of spending money all the time.
Oh yes, that's for. Look at the detail on the landing lights. You can see the caustics, the lighting. The different lighting densities as it cascades across the land, and it's actually shaped by probably the shape of the well, I don't know if it's probably artistically created, but it definitely looks very realistic. It's not just a bright white light.
Well, actually, just to let you know, the new lighting system actually improved a lot of the lights on the ships because it actually now realistically lights it based on distance and procedurally versus it being a painted on texture like before artistically. So now the system on board, like just the same thing with shadows and stuff now. The actual shadow system really controls now like what things look like. You notice like the shadows now have a lot more depth and stuff to them.
Yes, it's much more realistic.
Right, that's because they added that new system where they're able to control everything. More realistic look of everything.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Just because now
I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with this game. There's just so much amazing things they have planned. So one of those things that Chris mentioned was dynamic global illumination. That's the term.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how far that would be off, but once they have, if they ever do have that,
they already do.
That will actually benefit ships like the
They already do.
the 890 jump. Any ships that have indoor outdoor areas
Solara.
where the light's always changing, that's really going to help.
Solara. They already have that in.
But you're right. It seems like decoupled lighting. This is the new effect of the decoupled.
No, but they already have dynamic lighting in. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, you have your earphones muted.
Wow, you can see Crusader from here. It looks so small. I decided to look around the area and I left the ship, but I noticed that the ramp is sort of high. I can't seem to get
Can
on
you
back.
hear me in game? Your ears are muted. If you can hear me in game, your ears are muted in Discord.
Oh, no wonder I couldn't hear anything. My headphones were muted. I keep pressing the headphone icon or the microphone. Oh, how odd. I'm so sorry about that. If I didn't hear what you were saying, my apologies.
That's all good. I was saying they already have diegetic lighting in the game. So I want you to look out over the plains, like from here. You see all the different levels of shadows and lighting bleeding together? That's dynamic lighting, and as weather or time or lighting changes, those shadows will change with it. That's dynamic lighting. So it already is in the game. Also, the ship lights, these are not artistically driven. If you see like the way the edges here, you see how smooth the edges of the shadow is blending with the light? That's all done procedurally.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It actually, at first the line lights before were so ugly and hideous, but this is actually beautiful. Oh, madam, hello there, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Just,
Meta and Ghost, Meta, this is Ghost and Ghost Meta. Both of you are magnificent, wonderful people, and yes, please get to know one another. You're really.
well, there you go. These three you magnificent,
About to take off.
it's good that you're magnificent, wonderful as well. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, I'm just sitting in a tree right now, as you do when you live where I live. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you kind of made like a little greenhouse thing.
Do kind of a jump from the back. You're going to use like the low gravity to get aboard.
From the tree, you mean?
We're on Daymar.
Okay. I'm gonna head home. I'll be there in about 5 minutes and then connect.
Oh, I see.
You see how it's low gravity, so you use your jump to basically cover the distance.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
There we go. Good job.
You are so good. That's one thing.
Bad situations.
I must say, that's one thing we never have a shortage of in this community. Is bright people. We have a lot of bright people out there. You and Meta. Meta is also quite impressive. He always finds these. See, that's what I was talking to you about earlier when I was trying to get into Million Mile High Club. He knows how to find these hidden places. So everyone has just so much to contribute to this community.
Yeah. Alright, let's get off this damn rock. Alright, and we can fly this back to Port Olisar to gain a little bit of quick money. I found some magnesium here for sale, so I just pulled all of it.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Gotta look for the deals, And let's go ahead and still forward. Come on.
So, Meta, Ghost and I, we're over Daymar and we're doing tree runs at the moment. So what are you planning to do?
Come on. That's sweet. I think he said he's going to be home in a bit, so it might take him a while. Come on. There we go.
Sorry, I had to step away for a moment.
No worries. Gaining some altitude.
Remember these valleys? Oh yes, you're right. The ship lighting has definitely improved.
What was that?
The ship lighting has definitely improved.
Oh, improved, yeah, for sure. Even interiors look different.
I think I have found another favorite pastime in Star Citizen.
What's that?
Watching you land.
Yeah, this takes lots of practice. I've flown a lot of hours. Hold on.
Very smooth.
Hold on. I need to move forward a little bit anyway.
Nice touch. Oh, I just now noticed, they actually put little lights on the landing pads as well.
Yeah, they added a bunch.
Those are nice.
Alright, let me go sell this real quick. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, there's a lot of places now. There's different quantities at different locations, so it's not always full where you can fill up a cargo hold even though you have the space. Well, you can only buy the amount that's actually there. That makes it a little bit harder for trading and a little bit more, running around.
Oh, everything gets more difficult, doesn't it?
Did you hear me again, by the way, talking?
Not that I.
Okay. Yeah, because I told you in game that your comms was off.
Oh,
Your mic was off.
oh yes. So, see, the problem is these icons are right next to where I press the push to talk button, and it's so easy to press these.
Oh yeah, I know. I am well aware. Agrees.
I'm using a smartphone to communicate on Discord.
Yeah. Let's see here. Got it.
How did you do?
Hold on a second. Oh god dinger, is this button back? Okay. Okay, I got my money back. So we made 4,000 on that run there. I started when I came back with 90,000, so we made 4,000 bucks there. 4,000 credits.
Oh, congratulations!
And that's a very short run, for 4,000. That's easy. If we can find anything else worth selling here.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. What we got here? Agriculture supplies. Is it really worth it? I don't know. So these are selling
Medical supplies, maybe.
Yeah.
Supplies.
Yeah, I just did medical earlier.
Welcome back, Dave.
Thank you. I ran out of battery in the tree. Sorry. Dropped it.
If we ran medical supplies from here, 1727, the highest you can get. If we run them to Lira, it's worth it. I can get like almost over $1 for the run per unit. So that's pretty good. Over 1 cred. Let's see. Okay, let's do it. Run.
Maybe invite me to a party so I can get into the server easily. There's one spot, and I'm sure the server's kind of waiting.
Oh, sure, wonderful. Yes, let me see.
Hold on.
Boost is the leader. He'll have to
Get again.
Yeah, let me pass you lead. Hold on.
I think
okay.
Channel, party. There you go.
all the chances in the world I'm hitting there.
Thank you.
Okay, so you should now be able to invite him.
Okay, I'll send the invitation to you.
Yeah, we'll do medical supplies from here, Lira.
Welcome, Meta. Yay, you made it wonderful.
Alright.
So Karma's playing soon. Wolfie says she's playing soon too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So what do we have left here?
Terrific.
I can. Oh, that's so sad. There's only 2 SCU of medical supply here. It's going to take a while for it to regen. So, what's a good place? We could try picking some up on selling some medical supplies from there. Yeah, let's go to selling and see if they have it for us.
Wolfie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ruby. Nice to see you again. Welcome. Oh,
Thanks.
Ruby. I noticed I received an alert that you did a video, so I'm gonna have to check.
Oh, it's just a little one from before I caught up with you guys.
Oh wow.
All right, we're gonna.
I'll have to check that out when I get. Woofy, are you gonna be joining me tonight?
Yes, I am.
Oh, terrific. I'll send you an invite once you're in.
Okay.
And,
So, I'm at Lorville, by the way. I think. Am I at Lorville? I think so, yes.
All right, let's.
Spaceport. Damn right I am.
We can head there on the way. Here, so Talon should have some medical supplies that we can get a hold of. And all right. See how much fuel that we have left. 51% should be enough to get us there and then back here to refuel, and then we'll head to drop this off at Lyra.
oh,
Yeah, I think that'd be the best idea because we can pick up a decent profit from Lyra.
sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Okay. All right. Did I set my path? I think so. All right. Okay. Hold on. See, now watch. So as I'm lifting off, look, I can increase thrust. Watch. You see that?
Oh, wow.
It's all about, like, if you have those controls set up, you can actually control how much thrust you're giving to the system. You don't overdo it.
Oh, they really did design this well.
Well, it's just like they actually have all the buttons programmed for you to be able to, like, the new flight system is designed way better than the old one. Because the old one you could just boost, to top speed. This way you control a lot more of your thrusters, a lot better, like just like a lot more fine-tuned.
The hell?
Oh, well, what happened, man?
Keeps trying to sign me out of the thing. Wait a minute.
Oh, I kept into the loading screen. I had to delete my user.
I think I'm back.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, we're at 50%, so we definitely need to pick up fuel after we get off of selling.
Right.